Hello everyone! This is Princess Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Verity, and of course Maud Pie. And we're going to be watching Trust Thomas and Other Stories. And today is a very special day because this is actually the 10th anniversary of us meeting Maud. That's right. Ooh, here we go, the first story!
Thomas the Tank Engine was feeling bright and cheerful. It was a splendid day. Good morning, he whistled to some cows, but the cows didn't reply.
Of course.
Never mind, said Thomas. They're busy with their breakfast.
Breakfast is an important meal of the day, you know.
Birdie.
Oh.
Hello, Birdie. Care for a race today? But all Birdie could say was, ouch!
Ooh.
That's another hole in the road.
Oops.
I'm sorry, Birdie, smiled Thomas.
Huh.
Thomas was still in good spirits when Birdie arrived at the next station.
And he still looks unhappy.
Bad luck, Birdie. Now, if you were a steam engine, you would run on a pair of reliable rails. Huh, replied Birdie. The railway was supposed to deliver tar to mend the road 2 weeks ago. You can't trust a thing that runs on rails.
What?
I run on rails. You can trust me, Birdie. I'll see if I can find out what's happened. And Thomas puffed away.
Well, that was really rude of Birdie. With the attitude he has, you'd think he was more like Bulgy.
James was
Or worse, George. Ugh.
He grumbled. Percy goes to work at the harbor and I do his job. Here, there, and everywhere. Take that. Oh,
Jamesy, darling, calm down.
We'll show you. Gordon laughed. I'll tell you what, James. If you pretended to be ill, on freight cars here or go to the quarry there.
Just like what happened with
What
Truss.
a good idea, agreed James.
Although I'm still convinced this took place before Truss, though, right? I think so, but I'm not sure, really.
Cheer up, he puffed. It's a beautiful day. Yes, grumbled Gordon, but not for James. What's the matter? Asked Thomas. He's sick, replied Gordon. Yes, he is. I mean, I am, stuttered James. I don't feel well at all. Don't
Liar.
worry, said Thomas kindly. I know
Applejack.
how you're ill.
Well, he is. Well, it's actually Gordon's fault for giving him the idea in the first place. Much like he did with Sir Handel. Some Sodor engines can be very dishonest. I don't like dishonesty. You and me both, Maud. What? No! No, it's not. Troublesome trucks. Oh. You should never take your frustrations out on other engines just because one of them treats you badly. Exactly, Fluttershy.
Danger lay ahead.
Uh-oh.
Now for our plan, giggled the car. Go faster, go faster.
No!
Push Thomas over the switches.
Oh
Slow
no!
down, called Thomas's driver and applied the brakes.
Too late! Oh! One of his most iconic accidents.
Poor Thomas stood dazed and surprised in a muddy pond as a toad eyed him suspiciously.
Ugh. Oh dear,
Must
he's sinking!
muttered Thomas. The day started so well, too.
If only Gordon and James hadn't ruined it all.
Away the cars, and Edward helped Thomas back to the jungle. Suddenly, Thomas remembered the missing tar. He told Edward all about it. That's strange, said Edward. A car full of tar has been left at my station. That must be it.
Oh.
We'll make sure it gets to Birdie now.
Good! Now Birdie can trust steam engines again! Or anything that runs on the rails again, for that matter.
I'm sorry about your accident, he muttered, and so is Gordon. We didn't mean to get you into trouble. No, indeed, spluttered Gordon. A mere misunderstanding, Thomas. All's well that ends well. Just then, Birdie
Unless Sir Topham Hatt finds out. Then you'll both be in trouble.
Now. Oh, I am glad, replied Thomas. Thanks for all you did, added Birdie. Now I know I can trust an engine, especially if his name is Thomas.
See? There you go!
James puffed silently away to the shed. But Thomas still
You
had
two should be ashamed of yourselves.
What a day for surprises. The toad, who was looking forward to a ride home, noisily agreed.
Well, he seems like a friendly little toad. But yes, like we were saying before, this is the 4th anniversary. Oh, no, wait. The 10th anniversary of the day we first met Pinkie Pie's sister, Maud Pie. One of the best sisters ever! Wow. I can't believe it's actually been 10 years. Time really does fly fast. You got that right. Oh, next story coming up.
Mavis is a diesel.
Mavis! Ooh, Maud, you should like this. It's your engine friend. Her very first episode. And possibly the 14th time we've seen this. I recall only seeing it twice, I think. Or thrice.
This made Toby cross.
Freight cars should be when you want them, when you want them. I could possibly recite this whole episode. I've watched it so many times. This episode must love me or something. Oh, AJ.
Taking cars made her feel important. At the station,
And here comes the devious Diesel.
Toby's an old fusspot, she complained.
He is not! Oh,
Toby says only
no.
steam engines can manage freight cars, continued Mavis.
That's not true.
Squirmed Diesel. Depend upon it, Mavis. Anything steam engines can do, we diesels can do better. Diesel knew nothing about cars, but Mavis didn't realize this. Toby's line crosses the main road behind the station and for a short way follows a farm lane. Frosty weather makes the muddy lane rock hard and very slippery.
Ooh.
Toby stops before reaching the lane. His fireman halts the traffic at the crossing and then he sets off again. By using the heavy cars to push him along, he has no trouble with the frosty rails in the lane and across the road. It is the only safe
Very wise of Toby. Very sensible, too. But of course...
I can manage, thank you, she replied. I'm not an old fusspot like you.
Mavis is being an airhead once again. Well, then again, this was her younger days. Before she became sensible like him.
Instead, she brought the cars carefully down the lane and stopped at the level crossing.
Not a good idea.
All traffic halted. One in the headlamp for fusspot Toby, chortled Mavis.
That's what
But
you
Mavis had
think.
stopped in the wrong
Oh
place.
boy.
Instead of taking Toby's advice, she had given the cars the chance they wanted. Hold back, they cried. Grrr, ordered Mavis.
The cars laughed and her wheels spun helplessly. See? I can memorize every line.
The rails and tried to dig away the frozen mud, but it was no good. Everyone was impatient.
Grrr.
Wailed Mavis. Toby was in the yard when he heard the news. I warned her, he fumed. She's young yet, soothed his driver, and she can manage her
Listen to
cars
this.
herself, interrupted Toby.
They're your cars, really.
His driver replied.
Mavis is supposed to stay here at Quarry, unless the Tom Hat finds out.
Yes, said Toby.
It proves how many times I've seen this episode. I couldn't have said it any... Can you do the next one, Maud? Let's see if I can or not.
Telling Mavis just what she could do with her train.
Having trouble, Mavis.
Chortled Toby.
I am surprised. Gosh.
Said Mavis.
Hey, Mavis, you ain't no hound dog. I know I've said that one too many times before while watching this too, but hey.
Pushed Mavis and the freight cars back. The hard work made his fire burn fiercely, and his firemen spread hot cinders to melt the frozen mud.
Ooh, clever. There you go, Toby. Nothing gets in the way of good old Toby.
At last they finished. Goodbye, called Toby. You'll manage now, I expect.
Mavis didn't answer. Well, after making herself look like a fool, she ought to not answer.
Struggled home to the quarry as quickly as she could.
But the story continues. Well, that's right. I'm pretty sure the next episode is the continuation from that episode. Yes, it is. But I kind of want to take a break right now. You know, me too, yeah. Let's take a little break for now. That's alright, yeah. Alright. We'll be back soon with part 2, everyone. Stay tuned!